Hello everyone, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage showing you today how to fix something, how to change motor and ESC on kind of any RC car. This one is Extreme Bash Roller, the Kraton Extreme Bash Roller. The Castle Creation motor got burnt on it. Let's show you guys how to fix it. Now, before we do anything, I just want to show you guys how bad this thing is, because what happened is as soon as you plug this thing in, this was actually having a lot of smoke and it can catch a big fire. So without any further ado, let's see what to do. I already backed up some of the wires, so it's not gonna take us too long to actually work with everything. So we need to disconnect the ESC from the motor, and it's a kind of a problem with those ESCs because it's plugged really hard and you can break them, and then it's welded into the motor. So we're just gonna back up those screws. And usually whenever you take these screws out from the castle, kind of like from the motor mount, those screws that came with those vehicles are really bad and they keep failing. So it's better if you can actually get rid of them and put a new one, because if not, you have to do what happened here. You're gonna have to actually cut them straight in order to actually take them out, and you don't want to do that. Now, after we take the motor mount out, the sliding motor mount is out. You have the motor pin. Oh wow, this is stuck so bad that it's almost impossible to turn. I cannot even turn it by hand. So we're gonna need to see how to get to the screw over there. Let's see if I can turn it with a tool at all. Yeah, good. Just need to turn it to the edge over here where it can get open easily. You want to have the tools that you're gonna work with kind of ready for you. Here we're literally using only the 2 and 2.5. And this one is already a problem. It don't want to open, so I'm gonna have to probably like drill it out. But let's figure this thing out. I'm trying to see if those screwed it here not too strong. Also, they all lock too strong, so what I'm gonna need to do, I'm gonna need to heat it up for a second in order to open it up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that and come back. So in order to open all the bad screws, we're just gonna heat them up real quick. What you do, you burn in kind of the Loctite, and it's helped to loosen everything up. Just don't burn completely, that's it. This is more than enough. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take our tool, and it's popped right out. Now those two other one, yeah, very easy, everything coming out. You have to be careful because this thing is boiling right now, so it's a good idea not to touch it. Okay, everything is hot. We're just gonna set it aside. This is the bad motor. Now, whoops, I kicked the camera. Now we have to remove the ESC. Now the ESC is still hooked up to the receiver over there. So let's open those real quick. I did prime those a little bit earlier. So we have here the receiver box, and we have to open the receiver box in order to pull out the old plug for the ESC and make sure that it's going to be waterproof after. So now this method that you do this, you can do that for any RC cars. It's no matter what brand it is. This is how you change the system. The most important thing is to watch it all the way through the end to see how to put the gear in the right way back in, so then you don't have problem after that. Okay, this is out. This is all out, and I have two screws that fell in. We're just gonna fish them out real quick. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, now let's track which one is for this. This is going to be the wire with the orange, so it's this one. You're gonna take it out. And then what we need to do right now, it's out, we have to pull our ESC out. The ESC is double stick tape, so you have to pop it up. And then after it's out, we have another small problem right there. There is a mount over here that's holding everything together, and it still have good double stick tape, so I don't want to mess it up. But these also have a small on and off switch right there that we need to remove. You just have to figure out the right tool for this, because this is actually not a 1 millimeter. Let's see, I think that this is actually an X. Let me get the right tool for this. Okay, so a little bit behind the scene, I removed this part that was actually damaged. There was nothing kind of like to do about it. And then I pulled out the ESC, I pulled out the wires. Everything is out, and this is kind of garbage. This is completely cooked and there is nothing to do with it. Now, let's put it aside and grab our new motor. So, to put a new motor, we're gonna have to put, of course, our motor mount. We can use the old screws. I checked they are still good. They did not get stripped or anything. We just, I need to cover this and grab this real quick. We're gonna need to put some Loctite on it. Now, check the Loctite a little bit. Now, before you do that, make sure that usually your wire is gonna go up or a little bit side in case you want to put like a fan on top of this. It's better to take them actually sideways, but again, everybody have different preference, and a lot of time it will be depend also on the holes that you have right here on your motor mount. So let's see, two options that I got here. One option will be up and one option will be kind of sideways, and I think I like the sideways option better because I can run the wires and it's going to be easier. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take my Loctite and I'm going to drop inside just 2 drops just to make it a little bit blue, and that's it. You can put it also on the screw themselves. It's not really matter, but I like to do it this way because then the threads hold in better, I think, but this is my preference. It's like a magic. Whenever you need the right size tool, is the last one that you're going to grab. So just look at the last one that you're going to grab and grab it first. Now, as long as you put Loctite, when you tight it, just make it snug. Don't over tight it. And let's take here a small break because I really need to show you guys how to do the right way, the setup for the gear. So let's put this in here real quick, and then I'm gonna change the angle. A little bit behind the scene over here. So there is here a mount. This is like for the ESC on the Arrma Kraton that was kind of on the bottom over here that you have to run the wires. I just pull it out. It's just a couple screws that going over here on the bottom. The reason I pull it out because one of the wires that the customer actually built was actually getting it over here on your shaft, and it's actually caused it to get damaged. So I'm going to show you guys how to put actually the new ESC real quick on this before we continue with anything else. So when you get your ESC, they come in actually with a place for screws, and then there is a way you can get this way, this way, this way. You want to put it in a way that the wire is going to go toward your motor. Okay, so it's going to go backward toward there, and then all your on-off switch and everything will be accessible as well where you want them. Now, right now the battery is going to this side, so this is kind of more or less where we want it to be. And we already have over here double stick tape that actually already kind of trying to catch it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this double stick tape with a new double stick tape, and actually you can layer on top of this because it's already super strong, and I'm just adding one more layer on top of it, and it's not gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna stick to it and just stay there. The 3M double stick tape, as soon as it's actually heat up a little bit from your ESC, it's gonna be permanent. It's never gonna come out. And you have to pull it out with nails, and I don't have nails, so it's kind of a problem to do. Okay, so now we have the ESC in place. Now there is here this wire, and what this thing gonna do, gonna go over there, the wire holder. You can run your wires through it. It's very simple. And then this is actually for extra light and stuff. And then we have the plugs that's supposed to go to the vehicle. It's gonna go underneath it. Usually you want to get it from underneath there, just so it's gonna stay underneath the wire. So just put it there, and that's it, and make sure you're not cramping it anywhere. Now we have to put this in place and make sure everything is gonna set the right way. So make sure everything gonna look pretty good, and then to start you have to run your wires underneath everything and then kind of fish it back out. This is much easier to do whenever you build something that you start from the beginning and you already know what you're doing. Whenever you fix someone else's work, it's make it a little bit more complicated to do everything like the way that you want it, because you have to do everything twice. Okay, I got my throttle right there, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna track where is my throttle supposed to be, and then I'm gonna already plug it in and test it before I put anything else, just to make sure it's working. Okay, so everything is right now plugged and the remote is on, and what I'm trying to see that it will actually, the motor will turn. You have to listen to it, make sure there's no smoke. If there is, you have to shut it off. And then, let's see. I don't get any throttle yet. Okay, forward, brakes, and reverse, everything working perfectly. Now we can close everything down and this car is ready to go. Always shut off first your remote, like your car, then turn off your remote, and then disconnect your batteries, and let's start shutting this thing down. Now this is the most important part, how to close it down. So without any further ado, I will do that and you just look. So we're starting with closing up all the screws for the receiver box. Now we know that the remote is working, everything is working fine. So all you need to do is start closing screws and make sure nothing is actually under stress, so you're not going to have a problem later. Okay, one is charged and close, and now it's kind of nothing left to do for us. What we need to do right now is actually make sure that the motor is going to be aligned the right weight, and the gear will fit exactly where it is supposed to be. And the way that you do this is that first you need to find there is a small groove over here, and this is where you're going to slide your gear. Now while you're doing this have to have some Loctite on it. So what you're going to do, you're going to back it up, and I changed the screw on it. The screw on it was completely stripped. You take blue Loctite, never red. Now we're just gonna mark it more or less where we think it should be, and then we're gonna slide it in to see that actually this is the right position. Actually it's gonna be this way. Okay, and then what I'm looking to see is that the two gears will kind of be at the same height. So now this one is a little bit lower than the other one, so we're gonna have to fix it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the tools actually in it, slide it through, hold it to exactly where we want it, and now I have kind of a perfect fitting over there, and I just tied it, and then that's it. No matter what, it will stay. Now I can pull it back out because this is the where I need it, and make sure it's snug, make sure everything else is good. Those already closed from before with Loctite, so I know that they are good. Now we have here those screws that go here on the top. I highly recommend, before you putting it in, back in and out, to go over, put them in, make sure the threads are good, and then back them back up. Now I know that it will close the right way, and I know that the tip is not damaged. Now I do have here one with a damaged tip. They changed to a flat, but it's still working as the regular Allen. I'm gonna try to actually close it in and see why was there a problem. But I think that I have here one of the screws ready somewhere. I'm just gonna find it and replace it. Yeah, it's definitely gonna need it because the tool is kind of loose. Let me grab the screw real quick, so we're not gonna have any other problem later. Okay, so we got here a brand new screw versus the old one that is kind of stripped. So again, we're gonna do the same trick that I pulled earlier, just to drop a little bit Loctite inside and let it kind of do its work. Now the reason I do that inside here is because when you're gonna put actually your screw through and you're trying to put Loctite on the screw itself, while you push it in, it's kind of smear everywhere, and then it's kind of causing later problems. So I rather do it this way. Now another thing that I would like to do right now before I put it in, usually we'll take a piece of paper, and what you're going to do, the trick is the piece of paper need to be between the gears while you push them in. So you have to have a piece of wax paper ready, and this is going to be the right spacing, so you know that everything going to work the way you want it. Now we're going to put the first screw in while it's a little bit out still, because those motor mount have here something that disturbs to close it the right way. So you have to close it a little bit before and just tight it like for completion when it's kind of when you slide it in. So it's kind of closed right now in a way that it can actually slide. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to try to see if I can see the second hole, and I just caught it. Oh, not this guy, this one is bad. I'm going to put a good new one. This is really time consuming, but if you do it the right way and this is your car, it's working a million times better, so don't ever be lazy. A lot of people tell me, oh, you charge us so much money to do it. It takes so long to do, and if you try to do it yourself, it's never going to be the right way. Okay, so now we put this and crash the paper in as strong as I can, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make those screws over here tight. I start with one, and then I can relieve it a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is just try to move the vehicle backward forward. I see that it's very tight, and I don't want it to be super tight like this, so we're going to loosen it up a little bit. Let's see. This is a little bit too loose for me, but let's try. Oh, this is a perfect noise. So what I did right now, I spaced it, and then I was trying to listen to the noise that it's gonna give me. Now this is tight, and this is tight, and this should be just fine, and I have good spacing over there. Everything working the right way until someone will actually break it. So now, after we did this, we need to do a test. So in order to do the test, we're not going to drive the car at all. What we do, we just plug in it. Everything is set up, and we just need to go from there. Okay, so now when everything is actually set up, one thing we need to do is set up actually the on-off switch. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, again, double stick tape and put it right here near the cable, so it's very accessible. I have to tell you guys, it's really hard to run a store, do a video to YouTube for you guys so you guys can get educated when people keep calling you to ask you the most ridiculous thing in the world. And they're not customers, they're just people that don't have a clue and refuse to do a little bit research, and they're calling to ask you how to put the body pin in and all sort of ridiculous stuff as that. Okay, so everything is set up right now. Everything is in the spot. We're gonna see motor, hookup, Loctite, Loctite, Loctite. 3 Loctite, 3 screws. Wires are nicely done actually here on the side. Set up very nice here. On off switch, very accessible here on the side. The wires for the battery gonna come here from the back. Hook up to the front, and then you don't have extra wires running all over your vehicle. Okay, now everything's set up the right way. This is how it's need to be. Turn on, turn on. Fan is working. Motor is cycling right now. I'm gonna let it cycle one more time. Okay, and now I'm gonna start with checking. Steering is working, and let's check if the vehicle is working. What do you know? Okay, forward and backward, everything is working 100%. And this was how it was to do a motor swap on a car that actually repairs. So this is going to be whenever you buy a vehicle and it's broken or anything, this is how you're going to do that. Very important. If you have any question or any comments, put it below. If you think that I did something wrong and you can do it better, please put a YouTube channel and do that instead of just try to lecture everybody how to do that when you never did it before. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. This is Eric at RC Monster Garage, MotoStyles Hobby Shop. If you need to upgrade your car or you just want to make it cool, just come here and I can help you with it. Bye.